Okay, dann sind wir wohl da. This is recently out. This is Ruins of Symbaroum, which is the 5e version of Symbaroum, the role-playing game here, which is, let me find it. One of 3 leaks. Early ones, actually, was originally Jan Rengen. And there was a Kickstarter last year to bring this setting into 5e. So, and part of the Kickstarter were the Foundry modules. Showed just out, and of course I can't resist it. I need to have a look. So, of course, as always, let me just balance the microphone a bit better. As always, it's the first release, so I spoke to one of the developers yesterday, and they're aware that this is not quite perfect yet, but we'll have a look. And one of the biggest questions was whether Symbaroum would still feel like Symbaroum if you put it into the 5e module, or into the 5e world, if you like. And that's what I wanted to have a look at. So basically, without going into everything here right now, I'll just have a look at character creation, because I've been puzzling with that. And I have to say that I'm not familiar really with 5e myself. So it was a little bit of, oh, how does this actually mean? How is this meant to work? How does this all hang together? But I wanted to show you anyway. And maybe there's some inspirations coming out how to make this a little better for the implementation here. I might even have an early answer for you on whether I think it still feels like Symbaroum. So, and that's actually, if you look at a spellcaster, that's probably comes out clearest in that one. So let's have a look here then. This is the module. Basically, when you install the modules, and I currently have installed the modules for the Game Master's Guide, the Player's Guide, and the Bestiary. So, plus the core rules module. First of all, you install the D&D 5 system, 5e system, and then you put over the top of that the rules module, the core module, I think it's called. So it's a bit unusual for me because normally, I don't do this sort of layered setup from 5e to something else. So, but yeah, as I said, let's create a character. And as I'm doing this, I'm just thinking it might have been better actually to do this on the Forge because I can zoom in better into the interface. So let's make a staff mage, and I'll just call him staff mage for now. I don't know how you normally play 5e. That's up to you. By the way, if you want to drag and drop, don't go for the frame, go for the title bar. But what I do is I just looked up what you normally do for D&D. So number 1, choose a race, then a class, and ability scores. Describe your character, equipment, come together. Done. Don't know how long this would normally take in 5e, but certainly took me at least 20 minutes, probably more than that, to create my first characters on this one. So I created my own little guide here. One is think about character origin class. I already have done this, staff mage. You have these indexes, indices, I should say, for the player guide, for example. I'll show you them on GM screen here, but you can also open them up properly. And that will roughly talk you through the right order here at the bottom. Character options, classes and feeds, resources. But very useful for character creation is also the second entry here, which is the index of all the items. And again, the guys who developed this were trying to make it very useful, put them in the right order for the character sheets, for character creation as well, which makes sense, but let's see how well that works. Because I was told that for 5e, it's not the done thing to import everything into your items directory. So if you look at my items directory right now, I created an Explorers pack because that wasn't there. And if you look at the journal items, you basically have these indices rather than everything in there. Right. Anyway, I'm distracting myself. So back to the staff mage. However you want to normally create your values, your attributes, I would actually start on this one, because as soon as you start adding origins and so on, and you need to modify them, it gets very messy if you have to remember the modifier before you actually know what the attribute is. So let's have a look at this one. So I basically need 46 times 6, and then I discard the worst. I'm just going to do that manually. So 4 to 6, roll. Then we're going to write them down somewhere on a piece of paper. Or maybe in another journal entry, why not? So rolls. So my first one was a What was I? Discarding. So that's 9, 12. It's a 12. I've got a 12. Next one, 46 again. We have another 12. Great. It starts well. And again. Of course, you can use an array of values. Oh, that's rubbish. That's 10. If that's what you prefer. Luckily, I don't have to play these characters, so I don't mind how much I roll here. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? 15. This takes me back to when I started role-playing games in the red box. Oh, look at that. 18. I've got an 18. My first warrior had that as strength in AD&D. So we need one more, and that's a bit more average, 12. 6 values. Right. So one of the things, of course, if you want to make a mage, you need to understand what their spellcasting ability is. They tell you this relatively late in the character process. So if I made myself a little list here based on the information in the module, and for staff mage, it's intelligence I need. So that's my spell casting. It's also going to be fighter, so it needs dexterity, maybe a bit of strength. I don't need much charisma, could be dump stat. I don't need much intelligence as such, but it's also useful. So let's see. So I start with the highest. Dexterity. Because you might have to fight up front. So make it 18, 15 for my intelligence, spellcasting, then we've got a few 12s and a 10, so my 10 is there, everything else is 12. Alright, so that's done. What's next? I then go through and pick an origin. So what sort of staff mage do I want? So I've put that on the GM screen down here, but you've got the different origins here. You can be an abducted human, abducted by the elves. That could be quite cool for this one. Changeling, a dwarf, an elf, a goblin, an Ambrine or barbarian human, an ogre. No, that doesn't quite go. Or even an undead. What should I go for? I think with Student of Magic here, that might work. So I'm going to put a changeling onto it, and you'll see that it goes into features. So changeling. I have a look. Oh gosh, this is far too small to read for you guys on the screen at home. So it says ability score increase. Your wisdom score increases by 2. Why? Not okay. 14. And then I can increase one other ability score by 1. So I'm going to go for... What did I say? Intelligence caster. So I'm going to go for 16 there. Gives me the next mod. Right. Age doesn't really matter at this point. Same size of L, so I'm basically medium. We've got D8, which means at the beginning I've got D8. 1d8 is 8. Plus Constitution points bonus. So next. Speed, yeah, 30 feet, that's the same. Dark vision, I get dark vision. Now the question is, where do I get that from? Have I got dark vision in the list? That could be tricky. Let's have a look. So that will be a character feed, origin feed. So changeling. Doesn't say. And this is sometimes I don't know whether you're supposed to find them, whether they're supposed to be there or not. So it says you get dark vision here, but it might be good to actually have them linked in. So I know it's possible. There are some others where they are linked in. So if I go to my features, changeling, I expand it, you could actually have that embedded here. So what I now need to go and do is I need to look at the items and then see origin changeling. I need to change the background as well and the background feature, but I want to know whether I can find this dark vision as a feature down here. So it's not a boon, it's not a burden, it's not a class feed, it's an origin feed. So here we go. Shadow side, change self. Okay, I just have to remember dark vision. Or I can make a note here. If I find it later, I can add it properly. Dark vision. So, shape-shifting, change self-feed. I've done that. Languages. It doesn't matter. I can do that later. So the next thing is to go for my origin. And I said changeling. So we've got either broken home, which gives me athletics, acrobatics, history, nature, or I can be a mage's assistant, which I think is better for mage. So I'm going to take mage's assistant without reading it much. What does it give me, mage's assistant? Mage's assistant gives me a bit clearer to read here. So let's use this one. So it gives me skill proficiency arcana. We fold this one down for now. So I go to my skills, arcana ticked. I can choose alchemist supply, glassblowers, tools, disguise kit, or herbalism kit. I think I might, as a changeling, go for disguise kit. Now I have not found these kits in this game yet. So again, I'm just going to add it until I might find it. Is it a tool? Is it equipment? Let's call it equipment. So, note made. A kit to match your tool proficiency. Right. I did say disguise. Let's have a look at the proficiencies. Tool proficiencies. Disguise kit. There we go. Maybe that's how you're supposed to do it. But yeah, toolkit. Robes. Don't need robes right now. 1d6 plus 4 thaler. So 5 thaler is my money, which is not a lot, but better than a lot of people start with. So then I go further down and say, you feature student of magic. So I'm going to go for mage's assistant. Your corruption threshold is 1 more than it should be otherwise. So, and that is, where do I enter this? I have no idea. Because corruption is up here. And you can say what it is on. But it will be based on what I cast with, intelligence, and then +1. Permanent. I guess I do that. No, that's corruption, not resilience. I have no idea how I do that. Okay. Interesting. Right, what's next? I need to skip that for now. Personality traits. I'm going to my biography and I'm just going to roll these. So the first one is in D8, not a D6. 1 D8. And I've got number 2. Aha, Devil's Advocate. Also an insufferable know-it-all. So that's my personality trait. I can copy and paste that in there. Next is my bond. I hate that. I hate that when it is. 3. I carry something from my childhood. Okay. Bond. Copy paste. Next is 1d6 for the ideal. And again. 2. Purity. Okay. Interesting. Just as well as not a sorcerer. So, and the flaw is a 6. I'm superior. Right. Done. So, that's my mage's assistant. Close that back down and have another look what I need to do next. So I had character origin, changeling, mage's assistant, student of magic. Now the student of magic, that's where it is. So if I put that across now, will it change my corruption? Let's see. Currently on 5. No, it doesn't. Student of magic is here. Ah, it's not there yet. Right. Now, that's a pity. That should really update it. Would be good. Right, so the next thing I need to do after I've done my origin and background feature, I need to have a look at the class. Now, I said I wanted to be a staff mage, so that's going to be Mystic initially. The Mystic across here. You can also look it up here with the full text. So my hit dice is going to be D8. Looked at that. Proficiencies. So I'll go back, collapse this. Proficiencies. Armor. I've got light. Weapons, simple. No tools. Saving throw, wisdom. So that's, I believe, going here. And then choose either intelligence or charisma. Intelligence caster, so I think I'll go for that. Skills, arcana, deception, history, and so on. Arcana I've got. Don't need that twice. Medicine is always good. Medicine. History is always useful in Ruins, or in Symbaroum, in original anyway. And so is Insight Investigation. Let's go for Investigation. For Deception might be good as well. I don't have to play this guy, do I? Deception, I'm a bit weak with Charisma, so I'm going to go for that one. Ah, not roll it. Ticket. So, alright. Shadow. The corruption threshold is proficiency bonus. That's currently +2. Plus your spellcasting modifier. That is intelligence casting. Should be 7. +1. It should be 8. Unless I mess something up. Anyway. I will have a staff, of course. So, look at my item index again. And I want a rune staff. Hopefully we'll find it. Weapons, rune staff. Drop it across. Scholars pack or Explorers pack. I have not found these in the game system yet. So... they're actually listed in the book, but I couldn't find them on here. Not as an item. So I'm just going to call it Scholar, Explorer. Scholars pack. Scholars pack. Right, now it gets interesting. 1 light armor. I'm going to use silk armor. And then it gets interesting. Sorry. Was promising too much there. Origin feed, class feeds, burdens, boons, classes. Have I zoomed past it? Ah, I have. So, woven silk. Come. Now, let's have a quick look. Armor class 14. I'm going to add this now. And this one updates. It doesn't always update. And leather, studded leather, for example, doesn't update. So I've got that one done. 2 daggers and a component pouch. Again, I have not found a component pouch anywhere, so edit this. Right, and daggers I can find here. Everybody gets 2 daggers, not quite sure why. I must be breaking a lot. So, now it says, spellcasting. You're wielder of arcane might. Good. So, at first level, you know 6 cantrips of your choice. So, alright, 6 cantrips, that's quite a bit. I found these really tedious to add. And you need to make sure that you're not on inventory. If you're on inventory and you drag them across, you actually add scrolls rather than the cantrips. But let's have a look. So there's a spell list here. And of course it's a list by character. class. Now, where was it? These are all the spells. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. I want the spell list. So let's just find it again. Classes Mystic. Right, and in here, there's a link to it at some point. Staff Mage. I'm not even there yet, am I? I'm still on the Mystic. Now I know that the list is somewhere, just have to find it. So I go to the index. Listing of spells. There we go. So you'll see that not all of these are actually linked. I think that is by mistake, if that makes sense, or you have to get them from the SRD instead. So 6 of these. All right. Definitely Shocking Grasp. 1 Circle of Death could be quite good. Mage Hand is always useful. Mending as well. So if you need something from the SRD, you go to the compendia. You look for items. You look for spells. Yeah, from the SRD. And then you can search them here. So if I wanted Mending, for example, drag it across. If I wanted Firebolt, I would normally take them from here because they might be slightly modified. Firebolt, Minor Illusion. Yeah, could work for somebody like this Changeling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need one more. Prestidigitation. Always sounds cool. So let's go for that. Spells again. And these are the things, these cantrips, where I'm just starting to think, does this still feel like Symbaroum? Yeah, because in Symbaroum, if you play a normal thing, Fireball, fair enough, if you've got anything to do with Priors or whatever. Ray of Frost doesn't really work for me. Prestidigitation doesn't really work. These things are not the little tricks that the mages do in Symbaroum or the mystics. So mixing in these core spells from 5e, I'm not quite sure how well that works. So what else have I got? Level spells. You know 2 first level spells from your mystical approach table. So this is Sorcerer. Oh no, did I do it wrong? Witch, Wizard. That's the end. Troll Singer. Where's my Staff Mage? Theurge. I guess there's... you use the same one? The same spells? Self-taught wasn't listed either. Because he can actually pick something from everybody. So what does it say? I get Detect Magic as a bonus, it says. But it doesn't say what list you normally work from. Yeah. Again, I don't know. I don't know the rules well enough, but hopefully it still makes sense for the character creation. So let's look for Detect Magic on the spell list again, which I just closed. Listing of spells. Oh, look, it's not there. Oh, yes, there it is. Detect Magic. First level. And if I can take these, assuming I can learn 2 more, what should I use? That sounds pretty cool. Feather Fall for this sort of character. And Shield. Thunderwave. I think that sounds really cool for Staff Mage. So let's assume that's that. Starfighting gear, 1 unarmored, +1 to armor class. So let's have a look whether we find these in the class features. Origins, classes. So we have Warrior, then we've got the approach for Mystics, slightly missorted here. Put them on there, and then we have a look what it tells us. So approach Mystic, you can open it in Mystic approaches. Staff Mage, yeah. And it says Staff Mage. You learn spells from the Wizard Traditionalist. Now there we go. That's what I needed to know earlier. Let me just check whether how many I've picked that were wrong. So spell list again. Which wizard? Have I still got those cantrips available that I wanted? Yeah, Frost. I think the cantrips are the same, aren't they, in 5e? Mending. Yeah, and the other spells, Detect Magic was extra. I only took 1 extra. Okay, let's just take that out and use 2 again. Running away, that sounds good. Floating disc, that's, yeah, that carries something, doesn't it? Thunderwave. Interesting, I can't push Thunderwave across. Let's try that again. Ah, of course, because it's an entry. I have to put it from here. There we go. So, what else do we need? Bottom. That should be clearer. Or maybe I need to pay more attention. Where was I? I was looking at this staff fighting thing. Which should be in here. Approach Mystic. Sorcerer Staff. So bonus spell, I've done that. Staff fighting. You can just drag it from here up to the top of the character sheet and it should turn up there. Staff fighting. So at least that's a bit faster. Was there anything else? Not for now. Right, where was I? I think that's the spells done. We've done pretty much everything. Hit dice, corruption, equipment. Corruption with a +1, I'm not quite sure yet. We've done that, there's some equipment. Yeah, I think we're done. So this is how long it took me while talking about it. Not quite sure how long that was now. Probably a good 20 minutes or so. Yeah. Oh, there's something about favorite spells as well, isn't there? It's one of the reasons I don't like 5e. Everybody says it's so simple, but it is not simple to actually get your character into shape at the beginning. So, Darkened Path, that's the Sorcerer. Let's see. At the top, Mystic. Favorite spells. At first level, you can select 2 cantrips and 1 level spell. Now, the way you do that on here, go to the spellbook, and you can set this little icon here, favorite. So, 2 cantrips. Firebolt. Now, the thing is that the icon doesn't change or hardly changes. I'm not quite sure, but you have to mouse over to find out what the status is. Or you can go into the edit here, go to the details, and then it will tell you whether it's favored or not. Mending is stuff, isn't it, rather than people. So you can see up here it says favored 1 as well. Just for the sake of it. Ray of Frost, and one of the main things, Thunderwave. Favor 3. So the others should all be not favored rather than never favored. Favored. Not favored. Not favored. Not favored. Not favored. That makes it a bit clearer actually what's favored or not. Because the never favored, they have an asterisk in the name. Yeah, I think that's it. So all we need now is a little icon. Starfighter is really what I need. But it'll do for now. If I just take this guy. So I've got my skills, I've got my corruption. Based on intelligence, I think, +1 however. I've got some inventory. I can equip some stuff here. I've got my mystic class features. I think I've gone through all of that. Spellcasting approach. Did I pick spellcasting? No. Spellcasting. Yeah, which is what I looked up in the other thing. There's nothing else here. Listing of spells. That's where the link is I was looking for. And I've got my spells. Got no effects right now. And some biography. Yeah, that'll do. So I hope that was in some way useful. I'm not going to edit this or anything. It's just if you really wanted to have a look at the character creation and how it's a bit clunky at this point. What I noticed so far is you have to click in a lot of places and the sequence is not quite clear. So that's definitely something. Having an explanatory guide, a little bit like what I've written here, might be useful for people to have when they first get the system. Anyway, I know very much a niche little video, but hopefully you liked it anyway. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like if you like, and I'll see you.